Okay, welcome to Kung Fu Having number 2. So, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that I do not sound like a complete and total hypocrite. Okay? But the shit that I'm gonna say is going to be questionable at best for y'all. But, like I said, I'm not gonna tell you guys any lies. I don't do lies, that's too much work. So, the other day at school, on my way home, and you never really know who someone really follows politically. But if you watch my prep show, then you should know that this is about supporting some Trump supporters, but not supporting Trump. All right? I'm going to have to explain that. Let me break that down for you. Okay? Because y'all know that I can't stand that man. I will never support that man. I will never vote for that man. And that man is a bona fide racist. He's not just a bigot, because a lot of people weren't here when I Googled the definition of bigot and racist, which is pretty much the same damn thing. Alright? I don't know why they have the same beginning to the definition, but they're pretty much the same damn thing. If you go Google bigot and you go Google racist, you're going to get damn near the same damn thing. Alright? So, one of my friends is so on TikTok. He does support Donald Trump. I don't know if he's aware of a lot of stuff, and he's from New York, so he's got to be aware of it on some degree. I love him. I'm leaving his name off. He's a really good friend. I mean, he's probably one of the best friends I have on the internet, next to the best friends that I have here on YouTube that reply, give me advice, give me strength to carry on. But he's not the only friend I have. He's a Trump supporter. I don't think that I should give up my friendship with someone because we don't have the same political affiliation. I think that if you are really somebody's friend, regardless of their voting structure, you should still be their friend. Everybody knows that I do not vote Republican. I thought about it before I was old enough to vote, and then after I saw how certain things were, and after the past week where veterans were denied shit, I'll do one better. Yeah, get rid of that, get rid of that. That's me. So a lot of Republicans voted against veterans getting extenuating health care or something, and something about they can send you to any clusterfuck country wherever there's war that they want to send you with little to no remorse and little to no say on what you can and can't do. Really glad I'm not in the military anymore. Not that I was in there long enough to enjoy it anyway. I got a new hip. Need another one. But this isn't about me. This is about my friends who support Trump. And this is a very difficult thing. Alright? It is very difficult to try to explain to your friends who are not you and why you don't support Trump. Alright, now, here's the thing. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm going to piss people off, so let me apologize now. I am sorry that I'm going to piss you off. I am not sorry about what I'm going to say. I'm not sorry about how I feel about the situation. I will respectfully accept your feelings on it, but generally 9 times out of 10, it's because a lot of people who do support Trump, they follow this man blind. But a lot of people who don't support Trump also have done extensive rating research. I'm going to bring everything up. You know I've done it before. And I'm only going to bring up the reasons why I personally cannot stand this man. Now, if y'all like him, you like him. Who the fuck am I? I can't judge you because you like this guy. He's a racist. He's a bigot. You may not see that. But you also may be on that borderline of, I'm following him because he helps my money. I'm following him because he says what everybody wants to say but is too afraid to say, which means if you're following that, you might secretly be a fucking racist your damn self and just don't know it. But a lot of people who aren't racist per se still follow racist ideologies. So I can't say you're not a racist, but I can't say you are a racist, because you all have the people, and we all say this. I've said it, you said it, everybody watching has probably said it, where my best friends are black, or my best friends are white, or my best friends are Asian. And in that same breath, you can be like, I fucking hate Asian people. I hate white people. I hate black people. Okay? So as a person who is of mixed ethnicity, that being native, black, and white, I got more skin in the racial game than most people. Alright? So yeah, a lot of my friends that do support Trump are more than likely white. Alright? And there are also most of my friends that are more than likely on TikTok. So we don't live in the same state. But, I probably got some white members in my family that also support this dude. And just because they're in my family, and just because we are different of colors and ethnicities, doesn't mean they're any less family. They just have a different perspective of voting than I do. And I can't really get mad about it because that's what most of us military people sign on, so that you can vote whoever the fuck you want. However the fuck you want. But you should never let your political affiliation destroy your friendship, which is why I said I can have friends that support Trump. I will support them, but I will never, ever fucking support Trump. And I said this because the lady at school, she told me she's not a Trump supporter. But as I told her the same way I told my friend, let's just not talk about that shit. Because I don't want to lose my friendship because I don't support Trump and my friend does, and I don't want to make him feel bad, and I don't want to feel bad, and I damn sure want to keep my friendship. So we just agree to disagree about talking about the red-headed stepchild. But at that same time, he's a good friend. Lots of my really good white friends on TikTok probably have supported the man. I don't. Now let me tell you why. In 1989, my date might be off just a little, maybe 87, maybe 89, somewhere in there, because I'm the same age as a couple of those Central Park Five cats. They made a documentary 2 years ago, and our former president refused to say he's sorry, even though way back then he said he wanted those kids put to death with the death penalty. Even though now they've been proven innocent and they spent all this time in jail for some shit they didn't do, he was never man enough to say, I'm sorry. And if you are a man and you aren't man enough to say I'm sorry, we need to have a talk. Alright? You can never, ever not be man enough to say you're sorry. All men should know how to say they're sorry. Period. And if you can't say you're sorry, maybe you really need to evaluate your manhood. My dad has always told me, the bigger man knows how to say sorry. A little wussy pussy man don't know how to say sorry. And also understand it, you are never always going to be right. There are some things you're going to get spot on, but there are some things you are just not going to get. And I recommended you evaluate yourself on shit like that. So, as we were talking, and she goes, why do you think I'm a Trump supporter? I said, well, some of the things that comes out of her mouth just lean more towards Trump. And then she doesn't like Biden. But she said she voted for him. I said, well, I voted for Biden because Elizabeth Warren dropped out. My only other choices was PDP and Andrew Yang. I would have gladly voted for Andrew Yang. First Chinese American president? Fuck yeah. I would have gladly voted for Pete Buttigieg. I got his name right. First American openly gay president. Fuck yeah. That's cool. I'm not gay, but hey. If a gay man can run this fucking shop and keep us all safe and alive and get everybody back on track, I'm okay with that. But Elizabeth Warren, 4% native DNA. Hey, someone who has Native American ties running a country that belonged to natives. Fuck yeah. And female. What the fuck? I was down with that. I wasn't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. It's just that she wasn't who I was hoping for. Okay? But I really wasn't going to vote for Biden until he was all I had left. Now, I have nothing against Biden. But, at that same time, my choices, Elizabeth Warren, gone. Pete Buttigieg, gone. Andrew Yang, gone. And I understand why Yang left. His wife was being threatened. I left too. Because nothing's more important than the woman I love. If I had a woman, she would always come first. Anyway, that was a hint to my crush, the Double Z wrestler. Anyway, moving on. The thing with your friends versus your politics. Politics come around every 4 years. Your friends are there for life, if they're your friends. So respect them and respect their choices. You don't have to like their choices, but respect them, because you, deep down inside, you know your friends. You know your friends, or at least you know enough about your friends versus what you don't know about your friends. Understand what that means? Like when I was in school, I knew the friends who did things that I would never do. And they always tried to convince me, and I would always tell them, no, I'm the guy you want to have clean and sober, so when you get fucked up, I can go get your lawyer. And so that's how it was with me and my bros. They eventually stopped doing that stuff, and some of them didn't stop doing that stuff. And then when one of their children started doing it, I jumped down his ass and I told him, you can't go after your child for shit you're guilty of doing when you're doing it right in front of them. What do you think? So we washed that out. Now I know that was off topic, but it was a point to it. You know who your friends are to a degree. No, you know who your friends are to a degree. Do you truly know them? No, but you know enough of them that you can read them fairly well. And decent people don't always make great choices. All right? Now back to the me and the Trump thing. All right? 1993. I'm just getting out of high school. He's attacking natives about casinos and how they don't have to pay taxes. And apparently he doesn't know that natives have this color and lighter. Natives have this color and darker. Natives come in all shades and colors depending on location. All right, now supposedly these casinos were either in California or Nevada. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter because it was 1993, which was a long die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker. I'm sorry. Anyway, it was a long, long time ago. So I'm watching this thing, and you can find this video on YouTube about Donald Trump and the casinos and the natives, and they don't like natives to me. So, okay. He was really mad that his casino had to pay federal taxes and the natives didn't. You know? And the natives shouldn't have to pay federal taxes because remember, you're on borrowed land or stolen land, regardless of how you look at it. Now, moving on to the time that he was getting ready to become the president. A native asked him if he got into the presidency, was he going to stop the Standing Rock pipeline? He looked that native dead in the face and said, yes, I have no business ties with Standing Rock. Whatever the pipeline was, I have no business ties there. You guys don't have to worry about it. If I get in, I'm going to protect Standing Rock. He lied. So Obama, on his way out, signed a decree to protect the Standing Rock natives so the pipeline wouldn't go through. When Donald Trump got in, he signed a decree eliminating Obama's decree so that the pipeline was going through. Now, there's 2 times that he done went after natives. And he did some propaganda stuff and videos, or he had a PR person do it where there was this old black lady that was living in Trump Towers. And I said, ain't no way in hell he let this lady move into his tower rent-free from off of the streets out of that whole bullshit with the Central Park 5. Now, I can't say honestly if that was real or not. But what I can say is that the way that he has treated the Central Park 5, you have to be suspect. And then there's Omarosa, who has heard him use the N-word on more than one occasion, but nobody wants to give Omarosa her credit because nobody liked Omarosa from The Apprentice. Nobody liked her. I didn't like her. Now, see those people you don't like? If you don't hear out or listen out to what they say, they are always in places that they are supposed to be. So when shit goes wrong, they can tell the truth. And nobody likes a truth teller. So finally, I can go back to a time when before I knew about this stuff, when Donald Trump was always popping up on WWE while it was still WWF. And Donald Trump shaved Vince McMahon's head. And Donald Trump was dropping thousands of dollars or whatever out of the sky. Which was kind of funny because at those times, he was bankrupt. Alright? So, again, how are you dropping thousands of dollars if you're fucking bankrupt? Then you had the lawsuits on the colleges. Which was kind of weird. Because I was under the impression that millionaires could never go bankrupt. I mean, it's a fucking $1 million. How the fuck can you lose $1 million? How can you go bankrupt if you're a fucking millionaire? I never thought that was possible. He's been bankrupt about 4 times. So, It's kind of sauce. But when he took that decree from Obama and did that to the Standing Rock natives, right then and there I was done. Right then and there, I got it. He didn't want to apologize to the Central Park 7. So excuse me, Central Park 5. I get it. I get it. You don't want to apologize. You're too much of a man to apologize. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being too much of a man to apologize. Yes, there is. There was always something wrong when you were not man enough to apologize. Now, like I said, I'm not going to lose my friend over whether they are Republican or Democrat. If they're my real friends, I'm going to respect their right to vote. I'm not going to ask them who they voted for. I'm not going to care. Because you know what? At the end of the day, that's my friend. So he voted against the guy I voted for. Big fucking whoop. Everybody you know votes against the guy that you voted for, whether you like it or not. 1 in 6 of your friends secretly is a Trump supporter. And again, it doesn't mean your friendship needs to end because he chose a guy who would look at you, a person of color, and give you the finger, versus looking at your friend, a person of not color, and shake their hand. But the other thing, the final thing that broke the straw on my back with Donald Trump was when he told the Chinese reporter to go ask China. And y'all obviously didn't see the videos about how he was going around saying the Kung Flu virus, the Chinese virus, the Wuhan disaster, and all the other shit. Or y'all didn't want to see it. And then if you're looking at NBC, CBS, ABC, and even Fox, they're all showing you what they want to show you. And you have to formulate your own opinion with that, whether you like it or not. You know, no one can make you believe what you see until you see it like firsthand. If I bumped into Donald Trump today and he called me the N-word or half-breed, I'm catching a charge. Period. He's not going to have teeth. Okay? But it would have been because he provoked me to do it. Now, honestly, I don't got him doing that because he's like 90 years old and I'm 48. I don't think he would be dumb enough to go to any martial artist and say something out of the way. Now, it is what it is. But you never know because people like to abuse their power. Now, to all the people doing the January 6th thing who still believe he's president. Well, he's not. And if he runs again, he can grant them pardons if he wins. However, he has to get through the January 6th trials first, which again, I was at home. I didn't care. What I did care about is how the cops died. A military girl died. So some people died on both sides because, there were good people on both sides. No, motherfucker. No. I was in Charlottesville when you used the there were good people on both sides speech. No. No. See, here's the thing. The person plowing the car through the people in Charlottesville was a kid who should have kept his ass at home. But he was supporting white supremacy, so he just decided, fuck it, I'm going to drive through this crowd of black people. Yet there were good people on both sides. So I guess saying that the alt-right movement are white supremacists, but they're good people who hate people of color because they are coming down with tiki torches to the University of Virginia. Don't remember the exact chant, but it was something about Jews will not replace us. But there were good people on both sides. Now, my friend in which I speak, he is not Jewish. He technically is not white. He's white presenting. But I'm leaving names off just in case he actually sees this. I love him like a brother. I'll support him. I will never support his choice to respect Trump, but I will respect his choice to vote for Trump. We had a conversation the other day, and he brought Trump up. It took everything I could to type in, or to not type in, rather, let's not talk about Trump. Because even though Trump may have helped his community a little bit, he hasn't helped mine. All right? And by mine, I'm specifically speaking of natives. I'm sure there's a couple of natives for Trump that'll catch this video and be like, well, you mean he hasn't helped the natives? He started a native task force. Yeah, why is there still so many MMIWs for this native task force that hasn't done shit about MMIW? So yeah, I wouldn't say you're helping if you have a native task force and you load it with natives, but they're not out doing their fucking job to help find missing and murdered indigenous women and girls and two-spirit people. So yeah, I am making it a decree that we have a native task force that does absolutely shit. Okay? And I've also made plenty of videos where I've said if you're Asian and you support Trump, you're fucking up. If you are black and you support Trump, you're fucking up. Yeah, I made those videos. They're gonna come back to bite me in the ass, so I'm gonna go ahead and confess. Yeah, I made those videos. Now let me explain. See, the Asian hate thing, a little bit of it was happening before the Wuhan disaster and all that shit, but it increased the moment that Trump started giving them names. The Kung flu, the Wuhan disease, the Chinese flu. The increase of Asian hate skyrocketed. And up until Olivia Munn's friend was attacked, no one really stepped up or gave a shit. Asians were being attacked. They were chasing women with spray cans and chasing people on the bus. Cut a man from face to face who was Filipino. And then there's a sign, Asians for Trump. He just hasn't gotten to your Asian yet. But it's not him you have to worry about. You have to worry about these racist ass people, whether they be black or white or other Asians, that think you're Chinese. And then they cut you across the face. Or they break into your alcohol store with a brick and bludgeon you. Now, as you noticed, I pointed out that the black man with the brick went into a Korean store and bludgeoned them because he thought they were Chinese. None of that shit was happening before. And if it was happening, it wasn't being covered. But as soon as our former president started talking about that shit and calling it the Wuhan virus, the Chinese disease, and all this other shit, boom, Asian hate skyrocketed. The old man in San Francisco that was attacked by the black people while everybody was filming and watching and having the Chinese guy cry and all that bullshit over cans. That shit wasn't like happening like that in there. And now the reverse of that, the black rapper who was getting yelled at by the Chinese guy while he was filming, and the Chinese guy was calling him all kinds of N-words. Kudos to the black guy for not beating the brakes off the Chinese guy. So that just goes to prove that racism has no boundary of color. But see, people of color, like blacks, have always been the victims of racial attacks. The Klan hunted us down for thousands of days, months, weeks, decades. We'd say thousands of years, but that would be stretching it. But days and months, we can do that. Few years, definitely a decade's worth. But when Corona happened, everything changed. Everything amped up when he started talking about China and how it started in China. Every Asian friend I know got on my worry list. Even the ones that do martial arts that can beat the brakes off of anybody that I know that's not an Asian or a martial artist. I worry about them all the time. I made videos about it. I got at least 3 or 4 friends in New York that are of Asian ethnicity. My crush is Chinese. Y'all don't think I worry about these people? I worry about these people. Before that, I didn't have to. No. Now I have to because a lot of people don't know the difference of the types of Asians that there are. Alright? A lot of people think that a lot of Spanish people look Asian, so they cut them too. Now, imagine if Trump would have been black. The uproar that would have happened for this shit would be as big as the uproar when Obama sent all the Haitians or the Africans on a boat back to their country. That's right. he sent the most black people back, and he's black. So when you waste shit like that, you know, everybody gave Obama a hard time for that shit. Everybody. But no one gave Trump a hard time about his rhetoric. No one says shit to Trump about calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. And the all-time stab, because I'm part native, the all-time stab was bringing that shit up when the code talkers were in D.C. to receive their Congressional Medal of Honor. And he goes, we have someone who's been in the White House for a very long time. We call her Pocahontas. No one said shit. Now, one of the code talkers, he broke. He literally was chuckling, you know. And I get it, but he's an old soldier, so I can respect his little chuckle. But before he got there, he, amongst everyone else, I'm sure, have heard Donald Trump call Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. My screen is black, I don't know why. But it still says that the thing is working. Anyway. Excuse me. But no one seemed to temper him. No one seemed to calm him down. No one said, hey man, you saying this shit in front of Navajo. You really don't want to do that. You don't want to cross that line. You don't want to piss off the natives. But the natives, they kept their composure. They didn't flip the fuck out. And again, like I said, a lot of my white friends are probably Trump supporters. I can't hate them for that. I can only love and support them. And that's the point. I'm not going to lose friends over Trump. Because at the end of the day, he don't give a fuck about them. He damn sure don't give a fuck about me. He probably wouldn't know what the fuck my race was if he bumped into me in the middle of the fucking day, in the middle of the fucking road, like, hey. What's your name, kid? I'll hit him up with, I'm not a kid. I'm fully grown. I'm almost 50. And the name's Echo, Fang Grey Wolf. Without giving him my name, he wouldn't know what I was. Giving him my name, he'd at least have some inkling that I'm part native. He might have that as soon as he sees me. But if it's not a respectful encounter, like instead of hey kid, it's more like hey boy. I got you, damn boy. Just because you're rich don't mean you can't get your ass beat. No, you have to weigh the pros and cons of how you speak to people. If I know your name, I'm going to call you your name. Or I'm going to say, hey sir, or hey ma'am. Now, make one thing clear. I don't do pronouns. I'm probably going to fucking piss you off. And that's fine. Because shit happens. But understand, it's not my job to know your pronouns. Especially if I just met you on the first encounter. No, I don't think there's pronouns on my account. I don't really care because I don't know how to fix all that shit. I'm a man. I'm a straight man. What more do you need? Call me Echo. Or call me James. Whichever one you feel that you can remember the best. I mean, Echo's 4 letters, so it's not really that hard. E-C-K-O. It's not that hard. Versus James, which is 5 letters. J-A-M-E-S. It's really not that hard. I prefer Echo. But it is what it is. Now, again, you know, what are you going to do? Now, if I know your name, I'll call your name. I'm not going to say, hello, Stephen, who identifies as she, her, they. Because Stephen could be trans. Alright? Fuck all that shit. If I know your name is Stephen, hello, Stephen. I'm not going to, fucking disrespect you. I'm just going to call you by your damn name. And if you think I'm going to go Stephen, her, she, they, you done lost your damn mind. Be glad I remember your fucking name was Stephen. I don't do names. I do faces. I'm very good with faces, but I'm horrible with names. Now, in closing, I want you guys to think about this. 25. 25% of the people, did you know, have more than likely voted Democrat. 25% of the people, did you also know, depending on how big your friends list is, has probably voted Republican. Your job is to keep your friend, regardless of who and the astro-fuckonomics they voted for. That being said, to any of my friends, if you see this and you're a Trump supporter, I'm not against you. Not by a long shot. Am I happy that you voted for a racist and a bigot? Nope. Does that make you a racist and a bigot because you voted for him? No. You might be a little bit misguided. But on that same coin, on that exact same coin of what I just said, just because I didn't vote for a racist or a bigot doesn't make me a non-racist or a non-bigot. Because at that same thing of me telling you that the person you're voting for is a racist or a bigot, and we have proof. And we could probably find proof of the person I voted for being a racist or a bigot. And I can point out that as far as I know, which I could be wrong, somebody's probably going to find another video, but as far as I know, the only racist thing I've heard come out of Joe Biden's mouth was, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. That was it. So I guess a fuck ton of black people said, oh, I'm black, goddammit, click. No, just voted for him for that. No, I voted for him because I wasn't going to vote for a racist. Period. A lot of you are going to get out here, Trump's not a racist. Yeah. Okay, so telling someone to go ex-China because she's Chinese isn't racist. Or not saying, I'm sorry to the Central Park 5, who were 5 black people who were proven innocent. That's not being a racist. Or, they don't like Indians to me. That's not being racist. Yeah, you might want to reevaluate the definition of what a fucking racist and a bigot is, because they're basically the same damn thing. There's no thin lines for me on that. You know, if you don't like me because of the color of my skin, or you don't like me from the fact of the origin group that I am born into, you're pretty much a racist. You know, we don't like Echo because Echo is part native, part black. He's in 2 communities that I can't stand. I'm also part white. And if you go by ancestry, I'm all white because I'm like 82% white. I was like, yeah, you guys really need to reevaluate my spit or something. But anyway, it is what it is. So it is okay for you to have friends that are Trump supporters. It is not your job to judge them. It is not your job to sway them away from the vote. Alright? It's not your job. Your job is to accept your friend. That's it. I'm sure my friend, any friends that I have that are Trump supporters, don't like the fact that I voted for Biden. But I've never voted Republican a day in my damn life. And I will say this while we're on that subject, because this is the only place I bring my political views. Republicans are fucking up. Alright? They just fucked up against the vets. Whatever the fuck Clarence Thomas is on, because he's mixed. Well, he's not mixed, but he's in a biracial relationship or interracial relationship, whatever the fuck you call it. His wife is white. If they have children, they're going to be like me. And he's on this ass kick of thinking that getting rid of interracial relationships is going to work. He's on this thing about getting rid of gay relationships and transgender bathrooms and all this shit. This dude's got to go. Now, he straight up got to go. I have gay cousins and nephews, and I will stand with them as best I can. And it doesn't make any sense that a black man is trying to send the world back to separate but equal. Tea smoking. Oh yeah, I guess he forgot that he's black because his wife is white. That being said, the Supreme Court is in dire need of a reconstruction. That being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Epic number 2. Be seeing you.